Hi, my name's Deirdre Robb. I'm going to talk about the exhibition that we have here today, Blue. This exhibition is on in the Engine Room Gallery, which is 414 Newton Ards Road, for the whole month of April. It opens on the 1st of April and closes on the 22nd. Whenever I was first starting off, I knew I had this exhibition a year ago. I was actually looking at Belfast and the city itself, and was amazed by the changes that's happened in the past 10 years. So I was looking at architectural landmarks. And the one I was sort of focusing on was a waterfront hall, and I decided to take a trip down the Lagan on the boat and to get it from a different perspective. And I was just absolutely inspired and amazed, and just realised that as much as our city is building, there's one thing that's always remained the same, and that's the river. And the river has just been, and water has been just such a major part of my life from I've grown up. I lived in Newton Abbey, and I spent most of my childhood down at Hazelbank. I pass the river every single day on my way to work, and it is just one of those inspirational and feel-good effects that I have. Start off in the first piece. It's the main piece as you walk into the gallery door, and it's called Swell, and it's waves. Really what I have done is I've captured a bit of the sea and river and taken it into a gallery setting. It's quite a large scale piece. It's 12 foot by 8 foot, and it's made out of resin and fiberglass, and really what it does is capture that beautiful effect that you get from the blues and the green hues, and also the white where the wave sort of comes to a fruition. It also reminds you of many things like surfing, swimming, and maybe just playing by the sea. It took me roughly about 3 months from start to finish, because as much as I had a conception of what I wanted, I had to just build upon it piece by piece to see what I felt was working. It was quite frustrating because resin and fiberglass is not the easiest to work with, and I had to work outdoors, and the conditions that we had in January and February were absolutely abominable. At times it was a bit stripping down and it looked like frozen water, but I decided to try to be a bit more positive as we're coming into spring. This is far from the Farset, and it was looking at just even the idea of the history of the Lagan itself, and its opening was the Farset, and quite often it's under the city itself, so we don't always experience all of it. But it's more of a memory piece for me, very positive, and sort of taking me even back to my childhood days. The colours in it again, it's just trying to get that energy, and it's about that balance in life, the light and dark. Sort of thinking about what my relationship with water is, looking back when I was very young, I was 5, and my cousin, who was 10 at the time, he actually drowned in the bleach green. And it was a shock to the whole family, obviously, but it sort of gave me this fear of water, and fear and respect, I have to say. It was only recently I've been able to swim for quite a while, since I was about 13, but it's only recently I've been able to go into the deep end, and it was last year on holidays I actually went into the sea itself. So but I find it very therapeutic. I have my bath to relax, I go swimming for exercise, but I still have that fear of it. I find it very calming to look at and very inspirational, but there's always that double edge for me, yeah. I suppose that's where the darker hues are coming in, and it's bringing you deeper and deeper into the water itself, and it's bringing you closer to maybe what my fears would be. Well, this one here was inspired whenever I was creating the waves, and because it's a resin piece, it has unique properties, and I held it up to the light, and I was seeing all these different reactions that you don't get whenever it's on the floor. So I just kept building and building upon it again, looking at colour. I love the idea of the shininess and the reflections that you get with it. It's a contemplative piece, and the more you look at it, the more you see. And one of the ones that I hadn't set out to do initially, it arrived for me basically, and it was one of my favourite pieces now, I have to say, yeah. Just looking at these two pieces here, they were inspired by actually a song from a local East Belfast guy called Duke Special. I really enjoy his music, and we put the CD on in the car, and it was called I Was Lost by Consborder River, which is literally round the corner from where I live. And I went out and took some studies, and this is the effect that you get in these two wee pieces. Well, water's not blue, water's quite clear. It's only the effects of the environment around it that gives it the colour, and the greens and the darker blues is really about the coldness of water as well. And although I've tried to sort of warm it up by adding the lighter blues, it is very much about light and dark, and such as life as well is light and dark, so it has that connection as well. And the texture is about, it's trying to create an energy within the work, because that's the thing about water and rivers, etc. They don't stand still, they're forever moving, but trying to capture that in the painting was quite difficult, so I used texture to bring that energy to it. This is called Green Issues. You see a series of test tubes, it's incomplete at the minute, but basically it's what it's trying to do. It looks at the impacts of our environment and what we as humans are doing to the water. So it's really trying to bring out the global issues and global warming, and about how that affects our waters and our rivers and our life really. We need to sort of take stock and think of what we're doing. Quite often you'll see our rivers are full of rubbish, and actually what these test tubes aren't actually real test tubes. These are actually, whenever they're fully realised, they are going to be your Coke bottles and your Sprite bottles, which you quite often see lying in the river, so there is that sort of direct connection. They're also going to be filled, some of them is going to be filled with Belfast rainwater that's been collected over the past couple of months, and I have to say I have lots of it.
No shortage.
No shortage at all. Again, this is one of the sculptured waves, and I was interested in how to position it in a kind of unique way within an art setting. And the thing about sculpture is you need to look at it from all dimensions the whole way around the piece. And so the challenge for me was actually how you could do that within this little boxed area, and actually using reflections, which would be quite a large part of the work as well, would actually give the idea of being mirror-like images, so that you can see behind it, to the sides, the front of it, underneath it, nearly all at the same time. It's a wee bit cheeky in the sense there's a wee bit of a cheat there, but actually that's what art's about. It's about looking at it from all different perspectives. So